Welcome back to another YouTube video. If you do not know me, I am Amir, and you're watching the life of pretty boy Amir.
Can I get a window seat? So proudly I'm standing here right now, you're so demanding.
Alright y'all, so I'm going to be doing this thing called Unholy Story Times, when I'm telling stories in my life when I was unholy. Since it's about to be a new year, I just want to get all my sins and everything out the way because the Lord, is wrapping it up. But I really just want to share my stories and express what I was going through in those times, of how people betrayed me, played me, how I was deeply in sin, far away from God, and making the bad decisions at a young age. So we're gonna get all into that. Yeah. So I'm gonna be telling you the story of how I fell in love with my McDonald's coworker.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is episode 1, the first link. So, yes, I'm going to be sharing y'all a story of how I fell in love with somebody who played me, manipulated me, had me thinking it was something, and really used me for my body. So yes, here I am sharing my story. A lot of people are not going to like this story. A lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, wow. But at the same time, I'm doing this for me. I feel comfortable sharing my story and stories that I'm going to be telling y'all on my channel. And if you're familiar with my channel before I delete all my videos, what's up, cousins? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Turn your post notification bell on so every time I post, you get notified because you know I want to miss another banger or a video. So yes. Anyways, y'all probably like, well, I keep moving my face to the side. I got razor bumps because I cut my beard off. If you've seen in my intro, I got a beard. And I like how I look with this better. So I have razor bumps right now. So don't try to clog my teeth because I got bumper stock. It'll be gone. Give me about 3 days, it'll be gone. So yeah, not too much of me. So I'm gonna be telling the story time. And this is about to get real exclusive, about to get real juicy. So I'm gonna need y'all to grab your tea, grab your popcorn or something. We're about to get into this. So yeah. Alright, so this is what the boy looked like. So I worked at McDonald's and I fell in love with somebody. I'm going to enclose what this is what he looks like. This is not him. Disclaimer, this is not him. This is just a replica of what he looks like. Okay, so y'all get the picture. So let's get into the story. So we're going to name him Terrence. That is not his name. I just want to justify that is not his name, but it is close to that. So yeah, let's get into it. I had to write my notes down because it's called the first link, and I have to include what happened because I will forget. Usually when I tell my story times, when I used to tell them, I would forget a lot of things because, yeah, so bear with me. So I was working at McDonald's. I had to be 14 or 15 at the time. I think it was 14 or 15 when we met, because we didn't stop dealing with each other until like 3 years later. So yeah, I was working, I believe it was the end of freshman year, because I ended up getting taken out of school. So I was working at McDonald's, and it was my cousin and my best friend and 2 other girls I went to school with. We're just gonna name them anonymously because they're really not relevant to the stories. So yeah, I was working there for like a year because I got that job as soon as I turned 14. Ever since I was young, I always had a job. That's one thing about me, I'm gonna get my money.
Period.
So yeah, I was 14 working there, and my cousin started working there with me. So she was there with me. We was always there chilling, doing orders and stuff like that. So she was like, okay, let's get our friends in there. So I got my best friend in there. She started working with me. She got her 2 best friends. They started working. So we was just all working together. Mind you, we all went to school together at this school. So it was nothing. So one day, we didn't know that we were getting new hires. So we were getting new coworkers. And they went to the school that was like down the street or a couple miles away. And we heard of them, but like we didn't know them. Like they was just them hood niggas. Everybody just thought they was, you know, that. So we didn't know them, but we did know them. Like, you know how like you know somebody, but you know somebody, but you don't. We didn't know we were getting new hires. So one day, I think it was like a Wednesday or Friday or something like that. We were all working. Mind you, I look a hot mess. I had a boo at the time, which is crazy because like I had a little stink. I had a little stinky stink. And so we were all working, and they came in. It was 3 of them. So it was one was light skinned, one was chubby and dark skinned, and then Terrence was dark skinned with dreads, of course. Like I showed you in the picture. They all had walked in, and I'm in the back. I'm not paying them no mind because I don't know y'all. I'm not about to just go up to me like introduce myself. So I'm in the back, I'm on the phone, I'm not paying no attention, I'm not paying no mind. So they're introducing themselves to everybody. They see me. The one dude that was chubby said something to me because he knew me. He was like, oh, you date, what's the name with the woo? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you know, that's my little thing. And he was like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. I'm like, oh, for real? So I was like, we just dapped it up. We was just chit-chatting and stuff like that. And so Terrence, the dude that is the story is about, he kept looking at me. So I'm in the back and I'm just like looking up front, and he keep looking at me. So I'm like, no! Why you keep looking at me? Like, I know I look good even on my rough days. Like, I know I look good. It's okay. You could admit it, Bookie. I look good. I know. And so I'm just like, okay, why he keep looking at me? So I'm like, I'm asking my best friend at the time. I'm like, why he keep looking at me? And she like, you know, you is attractive. You know, you fine. And I'm like, I'm be feeling like you, but you say so. And he just kept looking at me, and I'm like, what is you looking at? Do you need that? Yo, do you need that? Mind you, when this happened, I was young and dumb. And this is what I looked like. Real baby face. Right. And he just kept looking, and I'm just like, why are you looking at me? And he was just looking. So I went back to playing on my phone while I'm taking orders and drive-thru. Mind you, right at McDonald's. So I'm taking orders and stuff like that. And so him and his homeboy, they end up walking to the crew room, which the crew room was in the back where I was at. So I'm taking orders right at the first window, and the crew room was like 2 or 3 feet away from it. So they end up going back there, but then like his homeboy like kept going straight, but he had stopped and he was looking at me. And I just looked, and I paused, and I'm like, and I didn't say nothing. And he was just looking at me. So I'm just like, I'm over texting my best friend, she in the front. I'm like, why does he keep looking at me? I was like, he give DL vibes. And then like, I don't know if he just give DL or he just like, he keep looking at me like, do you know me? Like, cause let me know something. If you know me, say something. Like, I hate people who do that. So that all that ended up happening. So the shift manager at the time, she was older, and she went to school with them. So she was just like, yes, he's so fine, his homeboy fine, chubby nigga fine, Terrence is fine, like it all fine. She was like, if I want that, I can get that. And we was like, oh, okay, that's what you
Yeah, boo.
we gonna let you have that. So like, she was hyping them up. She was like, yeah, them the hood niggas, they be getting money, they get to the bag. And she was just like, yeah, whoop. I'm like, they get to the bag, but they're working at McDonald's. Make it make sense. Because you getting your paycheck from McDonald's and then you flipping it, or what are you doing with the money? And she was like, yeah, they get to the money and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay.
Yes!
I think I was breaking like a 3 to 11 or 3 to 10 because it's a school night. So I end up clocking out, getting all my stuff together, the fat boy, he ended up saying bye to me because he knew me. His homeboy didn't really, you know, he didn't mess with me. Cause like he knew the vibes. And then he just kept looking at me and I was just like, I'm not paying him no more because like it's time for me. My shift is over. I'm going home. No, with that, I'm getting my money, I'm leaving. So he was looking at me still. So I'm clocking out. My ride was there, so I go home. So you know, I'm at home. I'm like, okay, woo. Me and the person I was talking to end up getting to an argument and we end up breaking up that night too, which is crazy. Like we end up breaking up. So it was just like, because I end up getting cheated on, because how do you share screen and you go to your photos and you got somebody doing Glock 3000 in your phone, like, and you thought I wasn't gonna see, and not say nothing. So yeah, I had to end that off. But I still went back a couple years later. Anyways, we're gonna talk about it. I was really fast in something when I was young, so I'm just going to clarify that now in these story times. So yes, okay. I'm getting in the shower, I'm getting ready for school, I'm trying to get my outfit out for the next day. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna wear, stuff. So I'm like, okay, I know what I'm wearing. So I get in the shower, my phone kept blowing up, but like I wasn't looking at it because like I'm about to get in the shower. So I end up putting my TV on and stuff like that, like put my TV on, watching TV, and then I think I went to bed at like 1 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock. And then so I woke up out of my sleep out of nowhere and I'm like, something just fell off. Like I'm just like, yeah, something's not giving. I'm just like, I was hot too, so I was like, I don't know if I was catching a cold or something. But yeah, so I checked my phone and like I can get notifications, but I can't see I can't see the notifications. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's on my request. Cause it's like the Instagram thing, cause I have it on Instagram, like I can't see who texts me on Instagram. So like I get the notification. So I went to my request and it was like about 13 plus messages, like, but they were in vanish mode. So I'm like, who is this texting me in vanish mode?
That's suspicious.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's weird.
So I, you know, accepted, and it's Terrence. So I'm like,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
so you were looking at me. You want me? Okay.
Yeah, boy.
So I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God. So he was just like, question mark. And then so I finally answered him like, yes. And he responded, quit. And I'm like, so you were waiting. Oh my God! Wow! So he ended up texting me, he was like, what's up with you? And I'm like, oh, what's up? Do I know you? And he was just like, I seen you today at work. And I'm like, how did you get my Instagram? And he was like, your name, Zay. Because I used to go by Zay. I used to go by light-skinned Zay or Zay. And he was like, your name's Zay, right? And I'm like, yeah. He was just like, oh, he was like, yeah. He was like, I fucks with you. And I'm like, what you mean? He's like, I fucks with you. I'm trying to fuck with you. And I'm like,
All right, please don't play with me right now. Just, no, that's it, please. Let's not.
he was like, yeah, I done heard about you in the city. And I'm like, what you hear?
God damn.
And he was like, I hear you give that good Glock. And I'm like,
Come on. Come in.
so who in the city is telling my business? But it was like, it had to be the person I lost my virginity to, because when I lost my virginity, everybody in the city knew that it was 10 stars over here. But yeah,
Yes! Yes!
we're not gonna talk about that. This is very unholy. I don't even feel comfortable anymore telling the story. But he was like, yeah, he's like, you know, I'm trying to see what that's about. And I'm like, for one, this is a setup. This got to be a setup. Like, ain't no way. Like, how did you get my Instagram? Like, I have so many story times, and I don't know where these people be getting my Instagram from. Like, who be talking about me, and how do y'all always come to my account? Y'all always trying to get with me. Like, everybody in the city want me, and it be the people that you don't think. And it's so crazy because, like, everybody didn't been in my phone, and it's like, okay. So he texts me and I'm like, yes. And then he was like, I'm trying to fuck with you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he's like, I've been watching Twitter. And he was just like, I've been thinking about you. And I'm like, for one, you just met me today. You see me and you just got horny. It was just like, oh yeah, let me try to get at that. Like, that should have been the first red flag. Because I was young and dumb. That should have been the first red flag I should have seen. But like, no, I was like, oh, okay, somebody want to mess with me. This nigga got money. Okay, go for it. My dumb self. So I'm like, you not for real. And then he ended up sending pictures and it just got freaky. And then I'm like, you not really on that. And then he was like, I am. I'll pull up right now. Pull up right now? And I'm like, you don't even got a car. So I know you're not gonna pull up. So I sent my Eddie, like I ain't never snuck out nothing. So this is my first time even sneaking out the house. So mind you, I had to be 14, 15 at the time. So don't come for me. I was fast. I was very fast. So I sent Eddie. And I'm just like, this nigga not really about to pull up. So I laid back down, literally got my bed, put my covers up, said, literally got my covers in, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to go back to sleep. Mind you, like, he lived down the street, like, it was like, I would say 5-10 minutes away. Like, it wasn't that far of a drive. So, I'm midway asleep, like, I'm really, really tired, like, and he get to texting me, and my heart just got to racing. So I'm like, I'm over here, like, seeing notifications go off. And I'm getting nervous. Cause like, I'm like, oh my God, what if he really did pull up? I was just playing, not too much. Don't take me serious, don't take me serious. So I look at my phone, he's like, I'm here. And I'm like, Cat. And he was just like, this your house with the LED lights? He was like, this your window? And I'm like,
Shit ain't got serious.
mind you, I had LED lights. So I'm like, my heart got to racing even more. So I'm like, oh my God. He like, come outside. He was like, or you could let me in. And I'm like, let you in? I don't know you like that. I don't know you like that. So I'm in my head like, oh my God. He not here. I look outside the window. He's outside. Mind you, good thing he didn't pull in the driveway because like the driveway was really noticeable. Like we lived in a house that had like, it was 3 levels and like each level was an apartment. So our apartment had like 3 bedrooms. So we're like on the 3rd, like the 2nd level, but like it's high up. So I'm like, but it was high, but it wasn't that high. So I'm trying to figure out how to escape. So I'm like, oh my God, I ain't never snuck out before. Like, I have, but like, it was like with my cousins or like, it was with other people. Like, by myself, I ain't never snuck out. Like, I just snuck out to go to a party or something like that. But like, sneaking out to be sneaky, to be fast, never gave that, never gave it. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. I text him like, okay, I'm coming. So I'm over here concentrating like, how am I gonna get out of this window? So I'm like, okay, well, how am I gonna get out of here? So I'm like, okay, well, I can go downstairs. I'm like, either I can go out my room and then go down the steps, but I'm like, it's still gonna be loud. You're gonna hear me. Like, my parents' room is right by the door. Mind you, we lived in an apartment. Like, if you walked, you could hear it. So I'm like, oh my God. So I turned my TV loud and I put Medea on in the background and I locked my door. So I locked my door and I'm like, okay, that's the first step, step one. So after that, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna sneak out? So mind you, me and my brother shared a room. We had bunk beds. We had a basketball. So I got covers. I got 2 thick covers. Like, we had these long covers that my mom had bought us. So I'm like, okay, I got a plan. Mind you, our basketball hoop was like one of those basketball hoops you put the water in. So like, it was heavy. So I'm like, okay, I could tie it up to the basketball hoop and then go down the window. So that's what I did. I got 2 of the covers and I tied them up 3 times so if it wouldn't come apart. So I'm like, okay, I'm tying it up. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, here I come. He over here blowing my phone up like, come on. So I literally open my window. I open the window. I put the cover out like I was Rapunzel. I got on it. Mind you, I'm on the cover and I'm scared. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna get back in? So the way the window was set up, it was like the little house thing was under it. And then we had like a little balcony that was under it. And we had a trash can. So I'm trying to dangle. So I put it out, mind you. From the window, it was like it was a far drop. If I fell, I'm dead. So I'm like, oh my God, like, if I mess this up, first I'm gonna get in trouble. And I might die. I don't even make sense, but you know. So I'm like, oh my God. So I started dangling out the window like I'm Rapunzel. But then I ended up falling on the trash can and I made a big boom noise. So I literally got up, ran, and got in his car. Mind you, it was, I can't put the car in. That's gonna blow it. Just know it was like a mom type of car. If you know, you know. It was like, it was one of them cars, but it was roomy. So I'm like, okay, this can't be a car. So I'm like, you do got a car. But it wasn't given, it was his. So, he get in the car, he looking at me, he licking his lips, and I'm like, I'm over here shy, like, trying to act like I wasn't gonna be on that for real. And then, so, after that happened, he was looking at me, he was just like, yeah, I've been thinking about you, this and that. You know, it's like somebody that wants something, they gonna get what they want. That's what it was giving, like, was just saying anything just to get some. So I'm just like, yeah. And he was like, I heard that you get it best, like, I'm trying to see what's up. And I'm like, who told you that? And we're just talking in the car, and he's like, you know, what's her name? I'm like, yeah. He was just like, you know, they was talking about it in the situation, how you exposed him, and you took your virginity, and this and that. And I'm like, how you did your homework on me? That's what you did.
That's suspicious.
You did your homework on me. And then you came to my job, work there, just to, on me. Okay. Or you just knew me. Started working there, and then you was like, oh, he works here. Let me get with him. So yeah, we was talking. And that's one thing about me, I'm gonna fall deep in love. I was like falling deeply in love too quick. I don't even know this person and I'm catching feelings. Like, just because somebody wants you, don't ever just catch feelings for them. Like, just because somebody want to link with you, little sneaky link, or take you on a date, don't mean you fall for them. I learned that the hard way growing up, because I didn't really have that talk, like, this how you do it, this what you do, whoop. I was just in these streets talking. And good thing I found the Lord. So that happened, and he was like, I heard you know you get the best. And I'm like, you know it. Sexy. So he was like, what's that? He was like, what's that about? And he was like, we can get in the bed. And I'm like, me being a hoe that I was back then, I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna show him what they was talking about. Mind you, that's really wild and bogus, because just because somebody said something about you and they were saying that you were top tier don't mean you proved them right.
Period.
Lord, forgive me. Forgive me for my sins. So we end up getting in the bag. And mind you, you could tell like this was his first time. It was my first time, but it wasn't. So we get in the bag. I'm going to town. Like, with the town. And I'm like, doing what's need to be done. Yeah. Glurp 3000 was happening, and I was eating it up. Yeah. I hope nobody watched this that I'm related to watch this. This is so embarrassing. Oh my God. So, after that, he reached the top of the mountain. If you get it, you get it. In less than a minute and 30 seconds. Bro. But yeah, so that happened. And he ended up picking me up, put me on my bed, took my pants off. And I'm like, whoa. Stop.
Yeah.
Where's the condom? He pulled out the condom and was ready. And I'm like, whoa. So that's what you want. He puts it on and he goes to town, like was pounding it. And I'm like, oh my God. Mind you, where we went was like in a parking lot, but it was right next to my house. Like, you could still, like, cars were still coming by. And I'm pretty sure all you seen was the car was shaking. And I'm like, and then on the first link, it's crazy because, like, so after we got done with that, we did that round, you know, back was, you know, happened in round 2. You get the point. Just know that intercourse happened. Yeah, intercourse happened. First link, it was a hoe. Just know it was getting real freaky. Yeah. And I fell in love at night, unfortunately. So after that happened, I'm glued. I got turned every way but loose. Like, I was gonna tell me nothing. Like, we go together, like, when we get married. Like, that's how my mindset just used to be. Like, I used to be so crazy, and yeah. Lord, this is really beyond crazy. So after that, we was talking, and he was like, dang, they wasn't lying. And I'm like, I kind of felt bad, and I kind of regretted it, because, like, I felt like you just wanted to smash, just to prove that what they were saying about me was true. And it was, but, like, I just felt like you just wanted that experience. And me being your comrade and your experiment was crazy. So I'm like, oh, wow. So I kind of felt bad. But after that, so I'm like, so you gotta girlfriend, you know, you got nigga, like, what you got? Like, what is this gonna be? Like, is this gonna be consistent? Like, you gonna be my nigga on the low? Like, what is this just gonna give? And he was just like, no, we can talk on the low. Like, we could just, you know, on the low, you gonna on the low. And I'm like, all right. And then so I was just like, So I'm just like, in the morning, don't block me. And I'm like, don't be weird. Cause like I had experience with, you know, people just use my body and then they just like, that was the old me. Like that happened to me before. So I'm like, and he's like, no, I'm not. Like, that was good. Like, I'm not going nowhere. Just talking that, yapping that yet. Well, after that, he drove me back to like where he picked me up from. I told him bye. I'm like, all right, text me in the morning. And then he was like, no, I'm gonna text you when I get to the house. And I'm like, oh, you gonna text me when you get to the house? We got you already. So we ended up exchanging phone numbers. So, you know, he got my phone number and we was talking on there. So closed the door, got out the car, and I climbed back upstairs. From, like I said, I didn't go to my covers out my window. Climbed back up it, and I literally got back in the window, but made a big noise again. And then I hurried up and unrattled it, turned my light off, and got into bed. But the crazy part is, like, my mom heard me, but like, I don't know if like my dad or my mom, somebody had went past my room, and I was just like stuck. But I heard her got into bed, like nothing happened, and it was just quiet. So then I woke up. So after that, I'm just like, okay. So I'm up, I'm over here thinking about it. I'm like, I can't go to sleep. Like, I just got laid, I can't go to sleep now. So after all that, it just got crazy and crazy. So the next morning, I ain't getting no text from, he said he was gonna get home. I ain't get no text. And then I'm waiting until the morning. Like, I stayed up, I didn't even go to bed. And I still ain't getting no text. So I'm like, okay, that's a little off. But I'm not really thinking of it because, hey, it's just the first link. So I had worked, like, I would say a couple of days, like 2 days went by. I had heard nothing from him, but he saw my number. And I go to work, and the shift manager I was talking about, mind you, everybody was there. My best friend was there, my cousin was there, and her friends was there. And I'm telling them what happened, like, cause that was the problem I had in Big Mouth. Like, I was telling them, like, what happened, and they were like, no, like, he's so fine, like, he can't be. They thought I was lying, and I showed them receipts and everything, like, no, I'm on that. And then so my chef manager, she came in there, and she was like, she talking about she was like, Terrence, she was just like, yeah, it's so big. He put it on me last night. I said, huh? You lying? Cause that's mine. That's mine. That's mine. I just started crying, and I just started bawling my eyes out. And she was like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, you my nigga. And she was just like, what? And I'm just like, Terrence, I'm on that. And she was just like, my GDL, so like nobody knew. So I already blattered it out. And she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I did not know. And I'm like, you knew, cause like, you knew we was talking, but she didn't really know. It was me and me delusional. But like, that happened. So I'm texting him, I'm blowing his phone up. I'm like, so how you gonna me and then her at the same time? Like, did you her first or did you meet first? And I'm blowing his phone up. He just reading. He was like, chill, chill, chill. And I'm just like, nah, you messing with me. I got something for you. And he was like, no, don't do no crazy. Don't do nothing crazy. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. And that's where I'm going to end it off at, because it gets crazier. But yes, this was the first video called The First Link. And just baby let you know the series about to get more crazier. So y'all lock in, like, comment, and subscribe. So your post notification bell on so every time I post you get notified. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Cause baby, you gonna wanna know what Terrence did next. And what I did next months later. Yeah. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And we're gonna get these videos out and then pop in. Bye y'all. Bye cousins. Subscribe.
I know you got all dressed up for the club, waiting on